Also joined by John Price, he's a principal at Integrity Partners and a nuclear safety specialist. John Price, does Tepco know what it's doing?
Well, there's a lot of difficulties because they haven't got many monitoring systems working. So they are only now trying to establish how much melting has occurred in the first three reactors. The next problem they have to do, as you said, they have to cool them. So they have to know what the issues with the reactors are. And some of them appear to be leaking, at least slightly. So they've got to deal with that. And the third point that you were talking about is really whether radioactivity is still leaving the site. And Tepco is spending quite an effort on trying to stop it from leaving the site. They're installing, there was talk this morning, I see, of installing temporary buildings over Unit 1. I suppose it's just made of cloth or something to stop the dust coming off the building. They've also been talking about, or have been, doing something called spreading an anti-scattering agent, which means there's a lot of dust on the site, and they're trying to make it stick on the site by spraying something on it. I think it might be wallpaper paste or something, but they're trying to stick things on, stick the dust on the site. So there's a lot of different things going on, a lot of innovations. This temporary building's a complete innovation, and we still don't know what really is going on inside the reactors, and the buildings are very unstable. So there's a lot of issues.
Yeah, John Price, I mean, you mentioned that, and it seems like it's a scattergun approach, which again brings me back to the original point here. I mean, do you have confidence in Tepco here?
Oh, I think Tepco is getting plenty of assistance now. There's a lot of worldwide assistance, but the issue is a contrast. They always have issues fighting each other. They would like to get the fuel out of their reactors quickly, but that means more and more expenditure. They also more workers' exposure. So they're always balancing costs and workers' exposure against doing the job quickly, and that's their big problem at the moment. The other thing is the longer they wait, well, things do get better the longer they wait, but things are now going to slow down a lot. The amount of heat giving off by the reactor will probably drop only by half in the next 30 years. So it's just not going to go down very fast.
So
the other
a 6 to 9 month time frame, a 6 to 9 month time frame, is it feasible?
It's feasible to clean up the site, solidify the site, put something over the reactors to stop dust coming off them, and stabilise the cooling systems. And they have to do that by passing the water continuously through the systems and cleaning it up. I'm glad to hear that that's what they're doing now, because that's what has to be done.
Will they have to build a huge sarcophagus as they did with Chernobyl?
I don't think that's right, because once you do that, you can't get the fuel out, whereas I think they still have hopes of removing the fuel, and then that's eventually removing the entire plant. I don't think anybody's going to use this plant again, or this site even again, for electricity, so they have to clear the whole site. And the sarcophagus just creates delays in that.
John Price, how long, in your opinion, is it before people can start returning to the area, back to their homes?
Well, that's another area where we have very little information. The information being released is complex and it doesn't look great. The situation is that if I'm going to have to introduce a unit here, the safe unit, the unit recommended by, the exposure recommended by the International Atomic Energy Authority is 1 millisievert per year. Now, the situation is that many areas there seem to be being recorded at 20, so they're 20 times too high. So the question is that going to get less, and how fast is that going to get less? And the answer is very slowly. And near the plant itself, the levels appear to be much higher. By the way, the contaminated area may extend as far as Fukushima City, which is 50 kilometres away.
John Price, on that note, a worrying note there, we're going to leave things. So thank you very much indeed for joining us. John Price there from Integrity Partners is having a look at Tepco's attempts to rectify the situation at the Fukushima nuclear facility.